Alright, relate. Avatar The Last Airbender was one of my favorite shows to watch growing up, and I know a lot of y'all can relate with me. This show was so peak. I'm talking storyline, characters, fights, like everything was on point. And bro, I genuinely feel sad for all the new kids who have to deal with Coco Melon and all that nonsense nowadays. Gen Z kids truly grew up in the best era. W's in the chat. But anyways, the show was filled up with great characters, like I said. And Team Avatar, nah, them niggas was damn for real. Cause tell me why a team made up of kids and teenagers was doing grown folks like this. Like, nah, bruh, they was really moving. And among all these goated characters, we got Prince Zuko, who has arguably one of the best, if not the best redemption arc in all of fiction. But his video will come some other day. Today, I want to talk about my glorious and magnificent queen, the greatest Earthbender of all time. No arguments. Toph Beifong, the only character in the series to have a surname. What more do you want, bro? That's already evidence, you feel me? Bro, every time I saw Toph on my screen, I immediately began cheesing and geeking because I know Shorty was about to cook. Oh my goodness. She was moving so elegant with her Earthbending. Like, bro, just peep this clip. More on that later, but yeah, Toph was one of my favorite characters in all of Avatar, and y'all can see why. She was a blind young girl who learned how to Earthbend from the original masters. That's how you know she lit. And for years, Shorty was leading a double life to her parents. And what do I mean by that? Well, she was known as the Blind Bandit at night at this crazy tournament where she was folding adults twice and sometimes 3 times her age, like they were not. But back home during the day, she was this little fragile and helpless blind girl with rich parents. And to all the niggas watching this how the girl who you think is innocent and too good to do bad be moving. Stay woke, brothers. Now let's get into a bit of a lore on how she became part of Team Avatar. So as y'all know, or don't know, I guess, Aang was looking for masters of all elements to teach him so he could defeat the Fire Lord. And at this point in the story, he already mastered airbending. Like, he's the last airbender, so yeah. And had Kitara as a waterbending master, so it was time for him to get an earthbender. He initially went to his old friend, like really old friend, King Bumi, to teach him, but upon arrival, they realized that they had been invaded by the Fire Nation. And Azula and the gang pulled up, but you know, that wasn't the problem for my goated team. They managed to rescue King Bumi after a little, fight and a little chase down by, that could be a video for another time. But Bumi hit Aang with this crazy but old head wise sayings, telling him to search for a master who waits and listens before they strike, and that he wasn't fit to be his teacher. And yo, the King Bumi and Aang situation was really crazy. Like, imagine pulling up on your homeboy after hundreds of years frozen in ice, and all of a sudden they are this crazy old man who occasionally hits you with words of wisdom. Like, bruh, you the same nigga who was obsessed with big booty Latinas? So Aang and the gang tip off to God knows where. And this whole thing happens where they got stuck in a swamp that had the tree of life or something. And Aang saw a vision of a girl, so he followed this clue to help him find his destined teacher. And that's why they put up at this arena where there was a tournament, watching all these Earthbenders go at it. Sokka was having the time of his life, but none of them really stuck with Aang because they weren't girls and they just weren't that good, you feel me? But just as he was about giving up, my queen pulls up looking all clean with her belt. Shorty think this is the WWE with that pose. And as soon as Aang saw her, he immediately knew she's the one for me. Now looking, cause this is where we get to see my queen in action for the first time. The Buddha says he doesn't feel okay fighting a young young blind girl. And of course, Toph talks as shit. And this of course makes him mad and he started laughing, which makes Aang remember the vision he saw in the swamp. The Buddha says it's on. And why is Brody already sweating bullets? Like, damn, bruh, this little blind girl got you like this?
Man, I'm dead.
Meanwhile,
my queen was calm and relaxed. Her face was completely locked in. But this fight, if I can even call it that, was really short. And not even worth covering, but I must still do it. The Buddha makes his move, and that's where we see a seismic sense for the first time. And I think she was the first to be shown using it in the series. She read his movements and hit him with a signature pose, you know what I'm saying? And attacked before he even knew what's up. She really got a grown-up man hitting this split like, nah, she wildin'. Got him hitting this pose and broached on a ballerina or nothing. You can tell from the look on his face. Then she finishes him off with this move, hitting gang signs. Like I said, this wasn't even worth covering. But I locked in though, cause the real showdown happens later on. The master of the tournament was about to give her prize money, but as if anyone was willing to challenge her. And of course, Aang shows up. Toph didn't miss with the trash talk. Just listen to this shit.
Do people really want to see 2 little girls fighting out here?
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
And not gonna lie, Aang, now you gotta win. He tells her he doesn't want to fight, but talk. But Toph was not ready for all that, so she attacks. And because she relies on seismic sense to see, Aang being an airbender was a problem because he could stay up in the air longer than most people, so she couldn't see him. So in the end, Aang defeated her with 1 attack. and won and tries talking to her, but she leaves. So the next day, Aang and the gang somehow manage to track down and find her Addy, no problem. And honestly, it was kind of easy because Toph and the family were like super rich. They pull up to her house and find out she's really just some hopeless, innocent rich girl to her parents. Aang tells them he's the Avatar and tries to snitch on Toph, but she keeps Earthbending him from doing that, and they end up making a mess. After dinner, Toph takes Aang out for a walk, where she tells him everything and how she sees with her feet. But then she says that they were being ambushed, and she was right. They got captured by the bombs from the tournament. And now you might be asking why, and I didn't mention it, but basically after Aang won the fight, the boarder told the master it was planned out so Aang will win and split the money with Toph, because they didn't say his attack, which kind of makes sense, because we as the audience could see his airbending as blue, but the characters in the show don't see anything. Like, bro, you literally can't see air. So to them, it just looks like Toph flew out the ring without being hit, and they did not know he was the Avatar. So yeah, that totally makes sense. They asked for a low ransom, you feel me? No low taker, which was chicken change for her pops, but he only paid for his daughter and not Aang. Katara and Sokka try fighting, but there was way too many of them. So they go to Toph to ask for help, but what her dad says made her change her mind. Just listen to this shit.
My daughter is blind. She is blind and tiny and helpless and fragile. She cannot help you.
She pulls up on them saying that she already beat them once and she can do it again. No NLE chopper. They started running towards them and Katara and Sokka try making a move, but my queen tells them to back off. They're mine. Oh my goodness, bro. Like, bro, my queen got so much aura. And bro, look at Sokka and the face he's making. Like, bro, Sokka, I like your jokes and I like how you have unspoken rays and can back all the fine shits in the show. But bro, please back off. You're not that guy, bro, trust me. Toph opens up with this attack, sending them flying, and the whole arena was now covered in dust. First up was this guy, and before he could even make a move, Toph says a clean smirk. That's how you know he stood no chance. He attacks and she weaves before knocking him out of the arena. Her dad and teacher peep this and give a sigh of relief.
Hit it harder! I'm trying! Hit it harder!
What?
Next was this bump with the Max crawling on all fours like, bro, you make me sick. Toph turns him with a little rock to his head and then smiles. He jumps and sends out 2 rocks at her. She deflects them easily, and before he could even land back on the ground, she hits him with the 1, 2, good night out of the arena, and he falls onto the first bump. Next up was this guy who identified as a Mo. Tries attacking her from behind and she reads him and catches the rock before sending it right back, and just look at his reaction. This is the face of someone who knows he's cooked. Bro, rethinking all the choices he made that led him to this point. Out of the arena he goes, and to the same spot. Like, my queen is truly goated. Packing up all of them to the same spot. Mind you, she's doing all of this at the age of 12, blind and against grown arm men who have been headbending for years. Sensational. Aang finally breaks out after that sad scene, already and giddy to fight, but Sokka tells him not to even bother, pointing to these 2 bumps. Why does bro think doing all of this is going to increase his chances of winning? They charge in and wait a goddamn minute. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Spider-Man? Like, nah, when did bro get a tent set this up? And from what I can tell, the ceiling is really high, so that must be some longer rope he's using. Toph was of course not bothered, and here's this move, rotating the circle in the arena, making Earthbender Spider-Man clash into his body, sending them out of the circle, and then booms them out of the arena. And you guessed it, to the same spot. Masterfully done. Chef's kiss. Her teacher couldn't believe his eyes. She then clears out the dust from the arena, and now it was time for the master. He snaps his leg a little bit like he was about to cook. Like, bro, I'm crying, bro. You stand no chance, bro. Just relax. Toph just spits out and smirks. They begin circling around each other, and the master makes the first move, sending out all these big rocks at her. She makes a triangle-shaped shield to block, and then sends out one half of it at him. He weaves and hits this pose, which was clean, I can't even lie. But Toph sensed it and hits us with this beautiful weave, purely sensational, and ends the fight with this attack, sending him flying to her pops and the teacher. Aang and the gang just smirk. Sokka passes out cause his brain couldn't process the awesomeness he just witnessed. Her teacher over here glazing the fuck out of her, but her dad had a 1,000-yard stare on his face. He couldn't believe his own daughter has a side to her he's never seen before. Almost the same as finding out your innocent little angel is known as a doge goat in her school.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
So yeah, I completely understand his reaction. Her dad denies her the chance to live with Aang and asks them to get the fuck out of his comfort. Like, the fuck you mad at me for? It's not my fault you couldn't control your own daughter. But just as they were about to leave, and I can't even imagine what Aang was feeling in that moment. Cause imagine finding the perfect teacher who was revealed to you in a vision, but can't teach you because of her dad. So now you gotta go find someone else who wouldn't be as good. But luckily for Aang, Toph does show up, saying her parents changed their mind at the last moment. Now I know she's lying, I just can't prove it yet. And they take off. We come back to her dad who hires a teacher and the master to go after his daughter and bring her back. Like, bro, you just witnessed the same thing I witnessed. She literally took out all these grown-up men, including the master you just hired. And you think he stands a chance of bringing your daughter back? Man, you just rich and dumb, huh? And y'all do not understand just how important this was, cause this led to a butterfly effect and eventually led to her discovering metal bending, which solidified her as the GOAT. If you made it this far in the vid, it means you fuck with me, so why don't you do me a favor and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. This is just part 1 of the glaze face on Toph. There's so much to cover, bro. Like and comment your thoughts down below. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Tell me who your favorite character from Avatar The Last Airbender is, and I love y'all, and until next time, YC out.
This is the fight of our lives, and we're gonna win. Whatever it takes.
Listen to your mom.